Well, guys, sometimes it seems like there is a trend, but you enter at the wrong moment. Either the breakout turns out to be false or the market goes into the flat and stops you out. So ADX is an indicator that helps solve one main task, just to understand whether there is a trend right now and how strong it is. And important, ADX doesn't say up or down, it specifically shows the strength of the movement. So guys, now we will break down how to read the levels, how to use ADX together with plus DI, the positive DI, and the minus DI, the negative one. So, and how to filter false breakouts. And then we will reinforce it with practice by opening trades using the logic. ADX, this is the average directional index. This is the line with values from 0 to 100. And the higher ADX, the stronger the trend. So the lower it is, the more it looks like a flat market or weak, choppy dynamics. And once again, the key point, ADX can rise both in an uptrend and in a downtrend because it measures strength, not direction. To understand the direction, ADX is usually viewed together with two lines, plus DI and minus DI. And the logic is simple here. If plus DI is higher than minus DI, the market is pulling upward more. And if minus DI is higher than plus DI, the pressure is stronger downward. And ADX at this moment answered the question. Okay, but is this movement actually strong or just noise? Next is the most practical part, how to read these levels. So below 20, there is almost no trend or it's very weak. So here the range logic works more often and trend strategies usually give many false entries. So 20 to 25, so the market may start forming a trend. This is the observation zone, and above 25, so the trend is considered strong, and here it is more logical to trade in the direction of the trend. And above 50, the trend is very strong, but here it is important to be more careful. Market may be overheated and corrections happen more often. The calmest way to use ADX is a filter. So the first scenario, entry in the direction of the trend through DI plus ADX confirmation. Plus DI crossed, minus DI upward, and a bullish hand has appeared. But I look, ADX is at least rising toward 2025 and even better already above 25. So this means the movement is not just random. The mirror logic works for sure. So minus DI is above plus DI and ADX is rising. So the first scenario, the breakout confirmation. Breakouts often look beautiful, but many of them are traps. So ADX helps like this. If it started rising from this zone below 20 and moves above 25, it often means that the breakout has actually shifted into the trading mode. But if ADX stays low, the breakout is more often empty. Another useful thing about ADX that it shows whether the trend is strengthening or running out of the momentum. If ADX makes higher and higher peaks, the trend impulse is strengthening. If the peaks become lower, the trend may still remain, but its strength is decreasing. And an important point, a falling ADX doesn't always mean a price reversal. So sometimes the price continues moving in the trend just without acceleration. Sometimes ADX gives a divergence. So the price makes a new high, but ADX makes a lower high. So this is not an instant reversal signal, but it's a warning. The character of the trend is changing and you can start looking for a trade more carefully. ADX is not magic. It's important to remember that the first, it is lagging. It shows what has already formed. The second, in a sideways market, it's less useful and may give false hints. The third, it does not predict the price, it only measures the strength of the trend. So therefore, the best approach is the first price and structure, then ADX as a quality filter. ADX answers the question, is there a trend and how strong it is? The plus DI and minus DI help understand the direction, and the levels 20 and 25 help determine the market regime, whether it is a range or a trend. So now guys, we move on to the practice, and I will open several trades and explain the checklist out loud. So where ADX is, what the DI lines are doing, and why I consider the signal to be high quality. So I'm already on the bracket and I've done a small analysis of the telemarket and in general. All the selected assets, guys, you can see right here at the top, so over there. And the movement is quite stable despite all the political events that have been happening lately. So recently the charts have been showing incredible volatility and dynamics. Nevertheless, right now everything is calm, so we're trading here. And as usual, we trade with 3 minutes expiration time, and I analyze the market on the 1 minute time frame. And today the video is about ADX, guys. So let's add this indicator. And here it appears at the bottom, and I will adjust it a little the way it's convenient for me. So I simply change the period to 15, and I'll also slightly change the visual here. Like the plus DI will be green and the minus DI will be red. And the ADX line itself will be turquoise. So this is how it will look on the chart. And we're gonna use it on the chart as a trend filter and as a filter for the movement on a particular chart. And we'll look at all of these lines. So once again, guys, I want to say that ADX is not an indicator for opening an exact trade. So of course, trading with only one indicator is not correct, but nevertheless, in order to show you how you can just navigate using only it, you are watching this particle part. And I will definitely add technical analysis to the every trade, and we're just gonna open 1 or 2 positions with $50, and we may also open additional trades if the first entry point is not selected perfectly. So let's move on to the analysis, and we're gonna see each other again as soon as I find a suitable entry point. So let's go. And let's open this currency pair. This is IUT JPY. And with a new candle, we'll open a position for an upward movement. So there are about 10 seconds left. And I'm opening the position, and we slightly move to the more detailed explanations. So the position is opened. First of all, guys, what are we looking at? Well, earlier the trend had downward character. Then it was an upside. The correction and the price just dropped very strongly, and after updating another global low, we finally saw a reversal in the trend and a good upward dynamic period. And next, let's highlight the working area. I marked the levels that I will need, and the breakout of this level has already happened at this point, and now we are observing this pullback. I marked this level as the one to which the price can theoretically continue moving upward. And next we see a good touch of the trend line, and here in the green picture I also marked a kind of support area for this part of price movement. So here we see that there was an area where traders were active a bit, trying to break the emerging upward trend and push the price downward. But we see that this didn't happen, and the price just continued to move upward and began forming a support area. So now we already have several touches from which the price reacted and moved upward, just as we mentioned earlier. And now let's pay attention to the ADX. So what do we see here? There is a crossing of the lines. The plus DI cross the minus DI from bottom to top, which is our relative signal. And if we look at the ADX line, it's located in the range of approximately 26-27%. And as you already know, when the ADX line crosses the level 25, it can be considered the appearance of a confident trend. In this case, while upward dynamic, and the line is gradually moving upwards. So this is why we open this position. So our first trade will most likely close in a loss, and as you can see, the price slightly lacking momentum to break the opening level. So we'll open a second position upward as well. And at the very beginning of the trading session, or rather before the start of trading, yeah, but I mentioned that the market was more or less stable, yeah. And when I started the analysis, we saw such an impulsive movement, and possibly it was caused by some trading news, or perhaps strong players entered the market and bought positions. And the price showed this reaction. So it broke our first level that I mentioned at the beginning of detailed explanation. And after that, of course, we see this pullback. In my opinion, after such an update, this pullback is quite logical, because here we saw quite strong volumes, and in this area it is actually quite difficult to select a precise entry point, but overall we can already see that the pullback might be finished. But anyway, even if this position closed at a loss, we have a support area in the form of the green rectangle, yep, and we also already have a trend line drawn. In general, we will still we just still have enough space to open a fairly confident trade. And here we saw the crossing. Yep, it's happened, and now there is no crossing anymore, so the lines have moved slightly apart from each other. But overall, this completely suits me. So the ADX dynamic is currently around 22%, by the way. And this is pretty logical, because at the moment of entry it was around 26% or a little higher, and there was a pullback, and the line accordingly moved slightly lower to around 22%. So right now it's located there, and overall that is still quite enough to open a buy setup. Because already from around 20% we can see some such kind of the hint, or of some market momentum. But here we already have an upgrade movement and trend change. So the second trade completely closes in profit, and we lock in the profit. Yeah, great, amazing. So guys, these are the two trades we opened, and in total we are approximately $48 in profit. I probably won't open any more positions, I think. So this was a quick breakout part. So guys, if you use ADX as the only indicator in your trading, then technical analysis is definitely necessary here in order just to confirm entry points more confidently. You can also add every size, some channel indicators such as downtrend channel, Keltner channel, Bollinger Bands, or also stochastic while talking about oscillators as well. And with these tools, so it will be easier to find entry points, and you won't need to go so deeply into detailed technical analysis. So nevertheless, this is how I just demonstrated to you what I consider the main part of how ADX should be used correctly. So this is the crossing of the lines and the percentage level of the ADX line itself. And as you can see, the price continues the reversal and shows an upward tendency. So the analysis was done correctly. Now this is the result we achieved. Well, this, I hope I just managed to explain everything clearly in a structured way. So thanks all of you for watching this. If you still have any questions, you can ask them in the comments below this video. So guys, today you saw the main idea. ADX is a quality filter. It helps you avoid entering trades when there is no trend and join the market when the movement is actually strong. So remember a simple rule. So first, the market regime by ADX, then the direction by DI, then confirmation, and only after that the entry. So dears, thank all of you for watching, and if you want to trade in a similar sessions in a private community with me and my team, you know where to find me. So all the necessary links you will find in the description below this video. Just send me the message and see you.